Hey everyone, Richard Robbins here. I've got the market update from the Toronto Real Estate Board for the month of November of 2018. However, I've created some new slides if you've watched this before, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at all of the sales, how many are detached, how many are condos, how many are townhouses, that sort of thing. And I'm also going to compare the average sale price of all the different property types, but that's going to be sort of the second half of this video. First of all, let's get into November of 2018 opposed to November of 2017. So same month, only it was last year opposed to this year. We can see 6,251 sales opposed to last year we did 7,326. Now, no matter how you cut it, as a salesperson, that's not going to be good news because you can see we're down by almost 1,100 sales. So the deal is this. November of this year, we did less sales. The pie is smaller, so for you to keep the same amount of sales, you've got to take a larger piece of that pie, don't you? Because there's just fewer sales that are happening. But here's what's also interesting. Not only was the sales down, but the inventory was down. Now think about this. Generally speaking, when we see sales numbers go down, what do we see with active inventory? We see that go up, right? That's generally what happens. You see your inventory goes up, your sales go down, and the reason your inventory goes up, you're not selling as many. So obviously, if they're not selling as much, you're going to have the new listings come on, plus the existing listings that didn't sell cause our inventory to go up. But our inventory actually went down. Because look at this, we had 16,420 listings this November, where last November we had 18,197. So what does all this mean? That would mean that yes, we have less sales, more difficult for a salesperson, but on the other hand, in terms of pricing, probably going to remain very much of a seller's market. Why? Because obviously our months of inventory hasn't dramatically changed. So last year we had 2.5 months. This year we have 2.6 months, which is still a very strong seller's market. However, I'll get into property types in just a moment. Remember, 4 to 6 months, balanced market. Below that, seller's market. Above 6 months is going to be a buyer's market. Let's look at, if we look at prices here, you can see 2017, the average price of all of the Toronto Real Estate Board, okay, was $761. You can see in 2018 is $788. So your prices were up by 3.5%. Now let's be honest, that is very strong. Now yes, we had years where it was going up 10, 12, 18, sometimes 20. It was crazy, but this is back to a very healthy market, everybody, because see, your prices are actually still going up. But let's look at November and October, okay? So in other words, this year, the 2 months, you can see that again, our sales were down 16% in November or October, and our listings were also down 13%. What does all that mean? Yes, as we move into November, generally our sales numbers are going to start to go down, aren't they? They go down in November, then generally they go down in December as well. It starts to slow down a little bit. This isn't shocking right here, and this isn't terribly shocking either because, again, a lot of people don't put their homes on the market in November, December. They start thinking about the spring. So what happens? Months of inventory. October was 2.5, November was 2.6, almost the same. Have a look at this. Here are some of what I call your micro markets. So if we look at all of the sales that took place in the Toronto Real Estate Board, I'm going to break this out in 416 and 905 just a minute. You can see detached was 43% of your sales. Condos was 30% of your sales. You can see townhouses 16, semi-detached 10. So you can see what's happening here. This is actually starting to get larger, isn't it? And in the 416, it's going to be substantially larger than that because look, here's what I just showed you a minute ago, 43% detached. In the 416, only 27.7%. Condos are getting close to 55% of all the sales taking place. And you can see if we look at semi-detached 8.3 and townhouses 10.3. So you can see what's going on. This is affordable, so people are buying this, which means chances are months of inventory are going to be lower here than they are here. Prices probably going up faster here than here. Let's look at 905. You can see detached was 54%, only 27% in the 416. You can see the difference. Condo is only 14%, townhouses 20%, and of course you look here, your semi-detached 11%. So you can see the difference because probably detached is going to be a little more affordable in the 905. So sort of interesting stuff. So if we look at this, this is your months of inventory. This determines how strong your market is in terms of pricing, okay? Got nothing to do with how many sales, only months of inventory, supply and demand. So if we look here, 416 detached, you had 2.8 months of inventory in detached. Obviously, very strong market. Okay. We look at 905, you can see you had 4.1. It's moved into a balanced market, hasn't it? In the more higher end detached, probably moving into a buyer's market. Semi-detached, you can see almost the same, very strong. But look at your condos, you got 1.7 months of inventory in the 416, opposed to 2.8 in the detached. That tells me which prices are going to rise quicker, percentage-wise, right here, where if you look at 905, we got 1.9 months of inventory. So we can obviously see where our weaker market is going to be right here. This is what's going to start to go down in price in the higher end detached. Lower end detached is probably still stronger. This is really interesting, okay? I hope that you can see this. So what I'm going to compare here is the detached properties of 416, okay, from a year ago. So if I look at this, this is 2017. Detached property in 416, 1.28, it's now 1.3. So it's up just a little bit. If we go into the 905, last year was 827, now it's 832, just up by $5,000. We don't see a lot of movement there. I'm going to skip the semi-detached. Let's move into the condo. 555 went to 595, went up by, say, that's $40,000. That's a pretty substantial increase. And you look here, it actually went down, which is really interesting in the 905 from 451 to 443. So when you start to look at some of these numbers right here, you can see what's going on in your marketplace. Now, the reason I'm giving you all this information, we're going to move into 2019 very soon. I suspect 2019 is going to be relatively similar to 2018. Just my opinion, right? Could be different than that. That's just my suggestion. But what I'm saying is you want to start to understand, okay, what is going on in these markets. You need to start sharing this with your buyers and with your sellers. You need to start letting them see what's actually happening in their marketplaces. So again, what they can do is they can start to make better decisions. And remember, your value today as a realtor is going to be based on what it is you know, not what it is you sell. That's where they're going to see value in you. So anyway, when I get into January, I'm going to give you an update in January, but here's what it's going to be. I'm going to just look at the whole year. I'm not going to look at month to month. I'm going to take a look at the whole year opposed to the last number of years and give you a full update on that. So if you're watching this right now, it's the month of December. I want to thank you for watching. I want to wish you an amazing holiday, a Merry Christmas, and remember, it's a beautiful life, everybody. Make it count.